Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 1 of the Amazon original, HANNA. HANNA is based on the 2011 movie of the same name, and it tells the story of an ex-CIA agent who helps steal a baby girl from this government facility where they're conducting some shady program that apparently involves babies. After he rescues baby Hannah, he raises her by himself in the woods, off the grid, and trains her rigorously. She trains in hand-to-hand combat and with guns. She studies languages. He's basically building her up to be the world's most deadly teenager. All for her to be ready for the eventual day where the people he stole her from will come after them. So the show follows Hannah and Eric, the ex-CIA agent who stole her, as they have to venture into the world and deal with the people who want to hunt them down. I remember watching this movie a few years ago and absolutely loving it. It's not really an art house movie, but it's definitely not structured like a Hollywood blockbuster spy movie. I thought it was a very, very special movie. They do change some plot points in the show, but the story is basically the same, and I loved it here as well. I think the most interesting thing about this show is that it tells two very different stories at the same time, and it does both of them very well. The description for this show on Prime Video says it's equal parts high concept thriller and coming of age drama, and that's actually super accurate. We have the story about Hannah being on the run from the CIA and Eric trying to keep her safe, and the story about Hannah just finding her place in the world and understanding who she is. And I thought both sides of this story, or both of these separate stories that are interwoven together, were done very well. This season is 8 episodes long, with each episode being about an hour, and I thought the pacing for this show was amazing. The story explodes into motion with the first 3 episodes. It's almost refreshing to watch a show where so much happens in every single episode. The first 3 episodes do a fantastic job at just setting the stage, but also just so much actually happens. This story moves. So it's just incredibly satisfying. Naturally, after that, the show does slow down a bit and the exciting action gives way to Hannah's more personal journey, but I can't say it ever got boring. Hannah is a fascinating character, and at first I was worried it's just going to be another one of those fish out of water story, and that we're going to have a bunch of episodes of her just being like, what is a phone? Beep boop, beep boop. But there's just a little bit of that, just the right amount, because Hannah is sharp and clever and absolutely badass, and Esme Creed Miles, who plays Hannah, does such a good job at conveying this complicated character who on the one hand was trained all her life to be this emotionless murder machine, but who is also, just now learning about friendship and what it means to be a friend or have a friend. Joel Kinnaman, who plays Eric, was also great in this. He is very, very good at the no-nonsense, quiet, tough guy who also has more depth than you think type character. Watching this definitely made me more excited for Season 2 of Altered Carbon. Eric's character goes through a pretty fascinating process too. He's driven by logic, he's very pragmatic, but he also just loves Hannah, and you see his conflict between trying to treat her like he's a soldier and she's the mission, or like he's a father and she's his daughter. And I thought there were lots of these little moments between them in the show that just capture that so well. The action in this show is super exciting. There is some of it that as it happens, you're like, yeah, I don't know if an American government agency would just, open fire in the middle of this European city. But I didn't really mind it. I mean, it's still cool, and it's all supposed to be this off the books, full deniability, black ops, whatever, so fine, I buy it. Consider my disbelief suspended. In the movie, you had this villain, Marissa Wiegler. She's the CIA person who goes after Eric and Hannah. In the movie, she was played beautifully by Cate Blanchett, but she was more of a villain than she is in this show, which makes sense because in a movie, you don't have time to give everyone the same level of depth. that's why TV shows are better. TV shows are better than movies, and I like TV shows a lot. Marissa in the show, also played beautifully by Mireille Enos, is a bit of a different character. I can't go too much into this one because of spoilers, but I just want to say that I think Mireille is one of the most talented performers that I've seen. She's at the level of Elizabeth Moss. She was just amazing in this show. I love that she's not just a straightforward villain. Just like Eric and Hannah, she's a very fleshed out character, probably even more so than Eric. And it just makes everything that she does, whether it can be seen as like evil or not, it just makes it more impactful. Bottom line, should you watch it? So I've been praising this show for the last few minutes, so yes, I loved it, and I think that you should absolutely watch it. I don't really have anything negative to say that isn't super nitpicky, so I'll just give you this one nitpick. They do this thing that's one of my biggest pet peeves in this type of shows, where they'll show someone looking at security camera footage, but the footage looks like it was shot on a cinema camera, and it's from the same angle that we just saw on another scene that took place wherever that security camera is. So it doesn't look like they're looking at security footage, it just looks like they're watching the show that they're in. So there, but you know, stupid, nitpicky criticisms aside, I love this show, and it gets a binge watcher's certified awesome. What about you? Have you watched Hannah, the TV show, or the movie? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. I'd love to know your opinions about this show. I don't think it gets enough love. And it was just such a good time. If you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the binge watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I'll see you next time.